75. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Detroit Lions. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Herbert to throw right away. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 13 yards on the game's opening play. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. I ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Play action. It's Herbert. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's got room at the 30. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position. And that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards and just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Swift is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense, because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Now Herbert. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. DJ Chark, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no return on this one. It's a fair catch, a signal for and taken. Come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And a short pickup to about the 27. It will be 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 27, Carr. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Gotta like what we're seeing from him so far in this game. This is the 3rd game of the season, and he's already accumulated an AFC Offensive Player of the Week award in this young year.
Yeah, week 2 was his. The announcement came Wednesday that he got that award. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Oh, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time? Let's keep doing it until they stop us. Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
Man open left side, it's Williams. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
On the move past the 40. Touchdown! Amon-Ra St. Brown, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Now, this defense for the Lions, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that every single week. But let me think about that for a second. Maybe there'd be one contrarian that would say, give me 10.
He hits Adams complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Carr completes it. And some room to maneuver. Uses the stiff arm. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of 34.
You get a rookie tight end who can run like this, it just gives this offense a different dimension than they've had. It's going to be fun to watch his development and how this offense expands as this season moves along.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Here's Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have cut it back within a score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And some room to roam now. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On the option to give to Swift here. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Herbert. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Max Crosby, the outside linebacker, coming up to drop him for a loss of a full 10 yards.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 33. That was no 3rd and 2, that was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Lions at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display. And
he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Herbert has it knocked free. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Still all sorts of time left in this game, and you'd like to be able to say take it one play at a time. But the truth is, they're probably going to have to hit on a few big plays in the passing game to close this gap, and that's a good start right there.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Davante Adams, 29 yards. And the Raiders are back within a score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14.
Raiders 14.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw here, Herbert. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. They find some open field. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamal Williams, 65 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all, but right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
On play action, it's Carr. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. Touchdown, Raiders. Darren Waller, 52 yards. And the Raiders have got it back to within a score. Carlson on for the PAT. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. We're getting closer here now to halftime, and we may need that halftime break just because there hasn't been much of a break in this first half. A lot of points being put up.
Not much room to breathe, is there? Because these guys are going up and down the field. And let's face it, if you're the offensive coordinator for either squad, pretty happy with what you're seeing. If you're the defensive coordinator,
you're not so happy.
You're frantically searching for something that'll work. You're on the headset talking to your assistant. You're checking your play sheet. You're going through your memory banks of all the tape you've watched. You've got to come up with something, anything that'll help slow them down.
Searching for answers. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert, he sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side. And all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Herbert. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run out of the gun with Swift. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Now it's Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So drive 1, they had the field goal. Drive 2, touchdown. And now here on drive 3, looks like they're going to have to punt.
At least they were finally able to reverse the trend because giving up the field goal, then the touchdown, it's almost like they finally got to the offensive side of the ball and said, okay, we've got the system to shut you down.
This will be fielded at the 17. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And this is caught on the sideline. And he gets out of bounds as well. How about that? What a play that turns out to be. 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Carr. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Carr. And he's got Renfrow in the end zone. Touchdown Raiders. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away.
Fair catch. The Lions take over first and 10. Their own 25 yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. The final shot before the break for Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
And they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. And that is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet. But they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Throwing his car on third down. Eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They'll start on the ground with Swift. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And he's just going to get rid of this thing to no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Herbert now. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Herbert on first down now. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And the Raiders are going to get the football there as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Throwing now is Carr. Escaping the pressure right. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jacobs. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 57 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's got room. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Josh Jacobs with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11.
Raiders 35, Lions 24.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Fair catch, the Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly on Herbert, his third interception. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there. Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Running straight ahead is Jacobs, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Well, obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with 2nd and long. I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now it's Carr. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They go with Jacobs. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra. On 2nd down and 4, Carr. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there. I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right. Throw it out the window. Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine. I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and 9, Herbert. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Max Crosby, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Herbert off of play action. He's airing it out for Williams. It got his man complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. The defense, they weren't fooled on that post route. They just couldn't make the play. And the offense definitely tried to fool them because you saw the other route combinations, didn't you? Anything that they were running trying to draw attention away from the deep part of the field, but still had it covered. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option. You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh? And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Robert Tonyan, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. With a tackle there by Malcolm Rodriguez. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut. Saw through 3 corners, no reason to lighten up now. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Josh Jacobs with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fair catch. Gain of 25 yard line. The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25 yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. On 2nd down, Swift. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 58 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Once again, it's Swift. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down. Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain. And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone. They'll try the air now with Herbert. Rolling to his right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby in there to get him again. That is sack number 6, one off the NFL record of 7.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, they got him again. Max Crosby in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with a late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. Fourth down for Herbert. Desperation time. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He did. And the Lions will take over.
Is a turnover on downs.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that fourth down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held them, they might go for it again.
And they got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Herbert. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Herbert going to throw. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Now Herbert. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have.
Oh, this is blocked. This is going the other way. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30, 10, 5, and he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. Well, I think there was a lot of surprise from the kicking team there. After the block, they kind of froze and then realized, oh, wait, they can return this, and they returned it all the way.
And you know why they froze? Not often do you get that second sound, right? There's the kick, you hear that, and then there's that second thud when there's a block. That's when people freeze and they have to realize where the ball is. They picked it up and took it the other way.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Carr going to look to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. It's a big play there for Vegas. 44 yards.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Las Vegas, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons.